Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 125 and as you can see, we are starting things off today in a very strange location indeed. I'm sure some of you are sat there thinking, I have no idea where you are right now. Well, for those of you who watched the previous episode of Hermitcraft, you will know that towards the end of that episode, I went up to the top of my base to do some AFKing. Now I am recording that episode while I'm meant to be AFKing, so I'm basically recording this Hermitcraft episode within the previous episode of Hermitcraft, if that makes any sense. So tomorrow, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to record the end of the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Yeah, it's a bit of a mind bender there. We're doing like episodeception, I suppose you could say, episodes within episodes. But that is because, of course, I'm going to Australia next week. In fact, when this video releases, which will be on the Thursday, I will be going to Australia on the Saturday. So in a couple days' time. So I've only got a couple days. However, I am recording this video like last Wednesday for you guys, so it's just a big old mess, alright? It's just a big old mess, so just try and get your heads around it. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to pop down to the bottom because I want to see how many item drops I actually have down at the bottom here. I want to make sure that I am actually getting items, so, ooh, that's good, that's good. Bones for days, yes, that is excellent. I love this mob farm, it's so efficient. I've been here for like 3 hours, if that. That has just made my day, and arrows, and string most probably, rotten flesh obviously for days, we've got string. Oh, that is brilliant, we've got enough string to make a jumper. This is just brilliant. I'm really chuffed. I was not expecting that many resources, so that's a really good little AFKing session there. As I say, I've still got a full night to go, and then you will know how many items I got. I mean, you will know already how many items I got if you watch the end of the previous episode of Hermitcraft, because, yeah, this is all extremely confusing. But anyway, let's start with today's episode of Hermitcraft. Okay, so the plan for today's episode is going to be really quite simple. At least to start things off, we're going to have a really simple plan. The first thing that I want to do is show you guys around this place, because as you can see, it is looking good. If you missed the previous episode of Hermitcraft, then A, you won't understand anything that I was just talking about in the beginning there, but B, you will have missed this beautiful restoration of my little base area out the front here. We've got all this nice stuff, we've got some trees, and also, bada bing, bada boom, I've got myself a proper bedroom with a little bit of redstone there to tell us when we can go to sleep. So it's really quite smart, and I really enjoyed the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Well, the episode of Hermitcraft that I'm still currently recording. Oh my god, it's such a mess. I'm messing up in my own head now. But to start things off today, what I want to do is I want to clear out this little fella right here. I was considering doing it in the previous episode. I decided against it, but you know what? We're clearing out this area. I'm trying to make everything nice and clean and everything like that. So first off, this little fella's got to go, and now this guy's got to go. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that one in the third person time lapse. Or not, as the case may be. Apparently, the authentication servers are currently down for maintenance, which means that, yeah, I can't log in my second account, which means that I can't do any form of time-lapsing or anything like that. So just imagine a time-lapse right now. Just imagine it, picture it in your head. Picture me destroying that Enderman, and that will give you a pretty similar experience right there. Back to Hermitcraft. Fear not, ladies and gentlemen, I have come up with a fantastic plan here. Just remember, don't actually need a second account to do a third-person time-lapse, because the F5 button exists. So look, it's just as good. Just as good. No, maybe not. This feels a lot more dangerous than I first imagined it was. I'm going to have to hold shift. One thing that I am thinking though, wouldn't it be really cool is, say you hit F5 once and it went into this view, F5 again and it goes into this view, then F5 again and it goes into like free cam mode, so it leaves the camera where it was when you last pressed F5, and then if I walked forwards you'd see my player sort of like walk off and it would be like a free cam. That would be cool. I think that would be really cool. Mojang, if you're watching this, I don't know why you're watching this, but if you are watching this, then that's something that I personally would quite like to see. That would be a really cool feature. Anyway, back to the destruction. Hopefully we can get this done nice and quickly. So we're getting there. We're almost done. I'm just in the process of taking out this guy's little legs, and that will be everything completed. Now, as you guys know, of course, I'm recording this video in the middle of recording the previous episode of Hermitcraft, which means that for the first time ever, I am recording 2 episodes of Hermitcraft in one day. So the plan is, of course, I'm going to finish recording this episode, and then I'm going to finish recording the previous episode a little bit later. That's basically the plan. And this is the first time I've ever done 2 episodes in one day, and I must admit, it's really quite fun. I mean, it does mean that I've played a lot of Minecraft today, and I've still got a lot of Minecraft left to play today, but it's been pretty awesome. I've always lived by the rule that I can only record 1 episode of Hermitcraft a day. For some bizarre reason, I've always worked like that, just because that's the way my recording schedule has always gone. But now that my mum's back out of work, and now that I have like a bunch of time in the house again, maybe, just maybe, and I'm just going to throw this idea out here. Okay, I'm going to throw this idea out here. I could do either another episode of Hermitcraft each week, or potentially a completely different series, for example, the Redstone Let's Build series, or potentially a single-player survival series. If you guys don't want to see more action from the Hermitcraft server, but still want to see me playing some vanilla survival, then maybe I could do my own single-player series. I don't really know, because obviously, whoa, hello. You wouldn't get this sort of thing happening in a single-player world. I'm guessing this is Exuma. He wanted a screenshot or something like that. Or he's just going to run straight on down into my bed. Should I be afraid? Should I be afraid? I'm going to follow him down there and see what he's up to. So, as you can see, Exuma is currently in my redstone. I've just spoken to him. He says he's just doing a tour, and I'm just going to take his word for it at this point. Hopefully he's not out the back there just just going ham, destroying everything. But I can't imagine Exuma's that sort of guy. Who knows what he's up to, though? I'm just going to leave him to it, because if he's working on a prank, then that's fine. I love being pranked on the server. Obviously, we have just removed a prank, so then that means that the universal prank balance would be restored, I suppose. I guess I always have to have at least 1 prank running at any given time at my base. But anyway, we're going to leave him to it. We're just going to move away from Exuma now, because I have got a bunch of other bits and pieces that I want to do, and pretty much all of them are going to be involving redstone, which I'm sure is going to make a lot of you really quite excited. So, you know, the other day we created this machine right here. This is the Hermitcraft ideas machine. When we hit this button, lights flash, the floor goes crazy, and also we get an idea from the machine out of these droppers right here. Now, obviously, unfortunately, the episode in which we built that hasn't actually been released yet. I know that's ridiculous, but as you guys know, I'm recording a little bit in advance here because, of course, I'm going off to Australia, which means that currently there are only 2 sets of droppers filled as opposed to all 4. However, the machine is actually here. But I thought what we'd do is, in that episode, I kept talking about how I wanted crazy sound effects and things like that, but I never got around to making them because I couldn't think of a decent sound effect to use, but I think I've come up with a pretty good one, and that is the Zelda chest noise. I hope I've got the Zelda secret sound, because I thought that was fitting with this machine. I know it doesn't really fit in with like the industrial theme, but I thought it was a pretty good one to use. So I've actually turned up my volume for the first time in ages. Don't know why that was off. And I'm going to construct this thing. It's a relatively simple little tune, so hopefully we can get this done nice and quickly. And I'm just going to run the redstone straight off this little thing. We are going to need a redstone torch though, and of course, in typical Mumbo fashion, I've forgotten the necessary resources. Brilliant. Okay, just 2 more of these guys to do. I'm following a tutorial for this one, by the way, because I'm completely tone deaf. I'm awful at this sort of thing. So I need to do 14 clicks on this one and 18 on that one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then finally, this is going to be a long one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I think that is it. So I'm going to turn up my sound here. Going to go right the way up to 60%, because why not? And let's see. Well, hey! that actually sounded like it. Hey, that was a little bit slower. I'm guessing that was server lag. I mean, it's a little bit rough around the edges due to slight lag on the server, but you know what? That's good enough for me. I'm really happy with that. Cool. Okay, so that's actually worked. Now we need to try it in the actual system, and I'll quickly turn down my volume here because we don't want to blow our heads off with the pistons moving and everything like that. But let's find our way out and give this a bash. Okay, here goes. Hitting the button. Maybe, just maybe, I should... I don't really know what to say there. It comes in way too late because we have all the pistons moving and everything like that. It was not so hot. Not so hot. So I'm going to take out this redstone torch and we are just going to run this straight up like that, so it does it on the falling edge. And also I'm going to add in a repeater that means that it should come in like right at the very end of the pulse. You know, that's what we're hoping for here. So once again, I'm going to have to destroy some of my room, and let's give it another go. Still feels a little bit on the late side. I mean, early side. Still feels a little bit on the early side. I want this right at the very end. So I'm going to do some shuffling around. I need to craft some repeaters, and then this will all be in a working order. So that should now be done. As you can see, we've got a handful of repeaters out the back there. They sort of loop round, then go into the system. And I haven't actually tried this, but I'm hoping that the timing is alright. So here goes. We press the button. We get the piston stuff happening. The floor looks awesome. And then it's a little bit late, a tiny bit late. So let me just quickly take a few of the ticks off these repeaters here. I already thought it was going to be a little bit late. So let's take that one off, maybe that one off as well. So that's a few of them, maybe even, you know, 2 ticks on that one. This is completely random. That's generally how I tend to do things. And let's give it another bash. Perfect. Okay, that is absolutely perfect. Now, the machine is sort of working. I don't know where those have come from, but I'm assuming our randomizer must have randomized to these two then, because we didn't actually get any legitimate outcomes from the machine. If not, then I suppose the machine is actually broken. We'll have to take a look at that in the next episode of Hermitcraft or something. But anyway, moving on from that project now, we're going to be leaving that behind because we're going to be doing something today that I have needed to do for a very, very long time indeed. Yes, finally, I am actually going to sort out my sorting system. I'm going to get it up and working, and I'm going to fix the bottom part of the sorting system that has never really worked from day one. And once again, you know, I used Tango Tech's concept, but I never followed his tutorial. So I made my own redstone design based on his concept, and clearly that was a mistake because I am rubbish at redstone. I'm really terrible at redstone, evidently, as it's completely messed up and it hasn't worked, and yeah, it's just backed up and it's just a big old mess. So we're gonna just tear this thing out. This entire thing is going, and instead of having a sorting system, we're just gonna have like a bulk storage down at the bottom here, just because I feel like that will make life a lot easier, and I'll actually be able to access my resources as opposed to most of them being stuck in the back here in these droppers. I mean, there was a diamond pickaxe back there, a good diamond pickaxe. What the hell am I thinking? Oh, it drives me mad. Oh, I'm just going to keep destroying this, and we will finally get ourselves a working little system back here. Okay, so stage 1 of the process has now been completed. As you can see down here, it's been gutted. Everything's been removed. All of the hoppers back to about here have been removed because they all had items on the inside of them. And you would be surprised by the amount of stuff that was stuck in this system. Look, this is like, all the chests are still full, so we still have all our chests full here. They're gonna have to be gutted as well, but just those droppers and those hoppers contained all of this, and all of this, and all of this, and all of this as well. So there was a ton of stuff backlogged out the back there. But I'm really glad that we are finally getting this thing sorted out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, yeah, no, these are all full. I hadn't thought of that. I had not thought of that. I suppose we break the chest, then we place it down and fill it up with items. Is that really a sensible way of doing things? Is it? I mean, it's quite a long-winded way of doing things, but I think that's a way that's going to work. So I'm going to basically break all these chests, then place them down up here, then double up the... No. Well, I'm going to have to do some thinking here. I'm probably going to have to do some tree farming, to be honest with you. Now, for anyone who was a little bit confused then, what my little brain was trying to work out then was how I was going to move the items from all of those chests down there into all of these chests. No, that's not what I was trying to work out. Okay, now for anyone who was a little bit confused just then, don't worry, wasn't making a whole lot of sense. I was having trouble trying to understand how I was going to move the items from down there while rotating the chests, but I didn't want to store the items in the chests themselves, and it's all very silly, okay? Basically, I was having a bit of a brain fart there, so just completely ignore it. But anyway, as you can see, I've now removed all of the chests, and what we're going to do now is we're going to stack them all up sideways, a bit like what we've got going on up here. Now, that's going to double up our storage potential. It's going to allow us to get a lot more items inside the storage system, which is good news for me, because, of course, we have got a ton of junk. I mean, it is almost junk. A lot of it is junk, essentially, but some of it's really useful, and we have to store all of it, so it's all going to be going on in here. Now, first off, I've got to check how many chests I actually have, so let's take a look in here. I've got 22. That's good going. That's a really, really good start. As far as trap chests are concerned, I have got none. That's fine, because all of these, I believe, are trap chests, so we can work with that. We can definitely work with that. Good. Alright, good start. Let's start chucking these fellas down. So now I've used up all of my available chests and all of my available trap chests, which is absolutely fine. The rest of my available trap chests are up on the surface here, and this is how many we need to finish up the system, basically, which means that we're going to have to do some hot swapping. So I'm going to have to take out all of the items from each one of these trap chests here. So I'm going to take all of these items out, and then I'm going to dump them all in this chest right here. And I'm going to do the same thing once again, and probably the same thing once again. And then I'll be able to destroy the chest that I've just removed all of these items from, and I'll be able to chuck that down inside this block, basically. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I feel like I'm losing the ability to speak right now. Maybe 2 Hermitcraft episodes in one day is a little bit too much. So I've just taken the last items out of our last trap chest over there. So I'll quickly dump them inside of this one. As you can see, our sorting system, or our storage system, it's not really a sorting system at all, is filling up really quite quickly. We've already got 1 of the columns done, but thankfully we have got 4 more of those to go, so it's no real problem. Anyway, let's take out this trap chest right here. And that is going to be going in this block here. So there we go. That is the sorting system done. That is, well, the storage system. I keep calling it a sorting system. It's not going to be a sorting system. It's just like a bulk storage system. So now I have to just dump all of the items from these 2 sets of chests right here. Just dump those into it. And then all of this will be clear. And also I will run through... Ooh, hello. You cheeky monkey. Get out of here. I ran in a bit strong there, considering he's right next to all my valuable chests. There we go. I'm getting better, though. I am getting better at killing those guys. But yeah, as I say, I'm just going to take all of the items out of these chests right here, dump them into my storage system, and then we can remove these chests, and hopefully those chests over there as well. Finally, after many, many episodes of those existing. Okay, so the easy part is now done. All of these chests are filled up with items. There's no more chests left up on the surface, apart from the chests that have been there for ages. I'm going to keep those sticking around for a little while. I will get rid of them by the end of today's episode, though, don't worry. So now what I'm working on is I'm basically setting up the hopper item transportation system that is going to go across the top like this. So that's going to go across the top there. And then we're going to run hoppers into all of these chests. So they're all going to have individual hoppers running into them. Thankfully, I seem to have just boatloads of hoppers. So we have got plenty to complete this project, which is nice. It's always nice to find that you have tons and tons of hoppers. That's always a good thing. But our item elevator is probably going to go somewhere around about here. Maybe there. I think we should give ourselves ample room for these item elevators because they are pretty finicky and really quite annoying. So that's where that's going to go. So if we just line ourselves up with this one, we will run the hoppers into a block right here. And that's where the dropper is going to be going there. So our hoppers are going to be running right the way across like this. And this is, of course, coming from our sorting system. So the items, before they reach this point, they go right the way around the sorting system on that side. Then they go around the back. No, they go up, across, and then up, and then across, and then, yeah, they just basically do a big snake. So they sort of go like this, and then like this, and yeah, basically do a big snake. And then they finally make their way down these hoppers and down into this final, like, bulk storage system that goes down at the bottom here. But this is where the item elevator is going to go. We have to get the items from this hopper here up to this hopper right here. And I'm going to be using a drop elevator simply because, obviously, the test E13279 whatever elevator is going to be broken soon. So, going to have to get used to using the redstone ones, which is a pain in the backside, but we're going to work with it. So I'm currently working on a new design for an item elevator. This is it right here. And I think it should work. So we've got a pulse extender down at the bottom. That means that if an item goes through the dropper, the pulse created will be long enough to hopefully send it right the way through all the droppers. But I really don't know, because as I say, these things, just on servers especially, they seem to be really all over the shop. But I'm thinking that will work. So then we're going to run our redstone sort of down like this, and then it's just going to be a simple half slab tower taking the items up to the top. So that's just going to be a half slab there. And I mean, I don't need any more than that. I don't need any more than that. No, I do not. Let's see if this works. So we're going to put 64 cobblestone into this, and I'm going to take out this hopper real quick. No idea where that just went, but you know, we've got loads of hoppers, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to chuck 64 cobblestone into this dropper right here. Good signs, good signs, good signs. Now there is an item in this dropper right here. Hopefully that's not permanent, because otherwise that'd be really, really upsetting. So there we go. And 64 and the hopper. So there we go. Magical. But yeah, okay, that looks like it's working. So my design looks like it's working. It's a little bit bulkier than most item elevators, but if it works, I don't even care, because it works. And that's a really, really important thing. Okay, so that's good. That means that this system is actually going to work. Finally, I've got myself a system that's actually going to work. That should be a reliable dropper hopper system. Good, good, good. So now for clearing out all of the items, I've just had a really bright idea that I never had before. In the entire time that I've had this sorting system, I've never thought to do this. So let me quickly just grab the chests out of here. There we go. My problem was with this sorting system was the fact that it took so long for me to do it because there was only a single chest. I'm a spoon. So we've already cleared out that one. This one shouldn't take too long. All we have to do is just chuck all of the items into one of these double chests and we will be fine. So we are finally, after all this time, we are going to get rid of these chests that are down at the bottom here. So these chests are going to be removed from the sorting system. There we go. That's all of that. And yeah, I'm just going to keep on clicking through. Now, it does mean that we're going to have this slightly ugly structure here for the next couple minutes. But that's absolutely fine by me, because it means that these chests are finally going to be gone. They are a bit of an eyesore, and I don't know why I've never done anything about them. I don't know why I haven't gradually tried to remove them. I don't know why I continue to add items into them. Like, seriously, I used to just... Still, even like in the previous episode, or over the past couple days, I have still been adding items into these things. That day has finally ended. It's finally over. These little fellas, they're on their way out. And with this swing of the axe, tears of happiness rolled down my cheeks. The first time I have seen these blocks for probably about 100 episodes. There we go, that is finally done. And you know what, for good measure as well, we're going to chuck in these blocks right here. So the sorting system, apart from that little structure right there, it's now in its original form. It's now there. Happy days. Everything's making a lot of noise though. Oh buddy, that doesn't sound healthy. I guess we're just gonna have to put up with this annoying ticking noise from now on. That won't last forever. Good. Okay, it's finished. I was about to say, if it does last forever, then that thing is going. I'm going to remove all of that redstone right here, right now. But there we go. That is that sorting system done. That is the storage system done. We've added the cool noise to our chest as well. I mean, it's been a really, really fun episode to record. We've done a bunch of stuff, a load of fun little projects. And I've loved this episode. I don't know about you guys, but this has been one of my favourite episodes to record in a long time, and I hope it's been one of your favourite ones to watch in a long time. I guess I've just been in a really cheery mood. I think it's because I don't know, it's sometimes, you know, when you start recording a Hermitcraft episode, because I haven't generally recorded when I start recording a Hermitcraft episode, it's like I have to get into the swing of things, okay? And it's not because I'm not enjoying myself when I start recording a Hermitcraft episode, but my voice is a bit funny, you know, my brain is a little bit frazzled, and it takes some time to sort of warm up. It's like when you cold start a car in the morning. It's perfectly happy to be running, but it's a little bit sort of like groggy. That's basically how I feel. Because I've already recorded a Hermitcraft episode today, I am fired up, and I'm just ready to go. And I've loved every single second of this Hermitcraft episode, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my AFK platform to AFK so that I can record the end of the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Yeah, bit of a mess. But once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.